Hey everybody, Frogman 405 here. And today I want to talk about, I was reading an article on Gun Hub by Gunner. What a name, that's a great name for a gun enthusiast, huh? Anyway, it's the FBI decides on 9mm as their number one choice and have tons of evidence to back it up. So I read the article and I thought it was pretty good. You know, there's been controversy for a long, long time on what's better, 9mm, 40 cal, or 45. Now, I'm going to start this by saying I like all three calibers. I probably shot 20 times more 9mm just because of, when I was in the Navy, in the teams, that's what we used. We shot 45 as well, but not nearly as much. 40 cal, not so much. A couple of reasons. Was a newer caliber at the time, expensive, and there's a lot of wear and tear on the weapons with the 40 cal because it's such a hot round. I like it. What I've found is that people like 9mm, 40 cal, or 45 for different reasons. And I think one of the main reasons is what they started out shooting. For me, I started out 9mm. I like it. I'm good at it. But I'm good at all of those calibers. And the reason is not because I'm a great guy, which I think I am, I hope, but because I was weaned on it. I was familiar to it. But I'm a great shooter, let's say a pretty good shooter, because I train. I shoot a lot. A lot of people out there, they just shoot, say they started on 40 cal. They're going to love 40 cal. It's like, when you're in high school and you get your first car, mine was a 69 Roadrunner, full 40 Magnum. I love it. I'm a Mopar guy. But as I've grown older, I've grown to love Chevys, Fords. But it's funny because all my friends that started out with a Ford love Fords. And it's just, maybe there's a sentimental value to that. Same with calibers or even weapons. Because I'm a SIG guy at heart. I was weaned on a SIG in the Navy. And I love that gun, SIG P226. But now, I shoot Glocks, I shoot Smith & Wessons, and I love them all. As long as they're good pistols, they're well made, I love them. But anyway, getting back to the article, I'm just going to go over some of the important points that Gunner makes here. Oh, the FBI actually. They did some extensive testing at Quantico in Virginia, and this is what they came up with. And you can't argue with scientific fact. I remember as a kid, I read an article on the 45, where it came from, the round, and it had to do with our men fighting in the Pacific against the Japanese, and the Japanese would smoke hemp, get high, and the 38 caliber they used didn't affect the attacking Japanese. So they moved to the 45. I still remember what it said in the article. The guy said it was like getting hit with a quarter. So, it just stuck with me, and I thought 45 was a great caliber. And, a lot of that came from what I read, and it was one man's opinion. There's probably scientific fact behind it, because you get hit with a quarter versus a button, it's going to have some effect. But then again, 45 has its drawbacks. And anyway, here we go. Let's start. All right, I made some notes here, so I'm gonna just go over them. So one of the problems they found with the 40 cal was it was too much excessive wear on their weapons because it's such a hot caliber. So, give you an example. They were getting 40, 50,000 rounds out of a weapon before they had to, service it, or it wasn't serviceable anymore, just because of the wear and tear from the 40 cal. It's too snappy. Now, I always see the debate whenever I hear somebody or read something somebody said, and then you get the guys come back, oh, it's a great caliber and all this. It's, it's because those guys are good shooters. They know the fundamentals of shooting. They don't have a problem with being limp wristed. Like, not everybody is a great shooter. Law enforcement, I have great respect for them, but at the same time, you got a lot of guys and ladies that are limp wristed. You limp wrist a 40 cal, you're going to have malfunctions. So that's another reason. And 40 cal is a little bit more expensive. You have less rounds in the magazine, was another problem. I mean, it's a great round if it's used by a shooter that's competent. Anyway, let's move on. And one of the other big things they looked at was the wound. They came up with the medical side of it. And what they found was that when you incapacitate the central nervous system, which is from here up, that's what stops an assailant. And most law enforcement, well, according to FBI statistics, 70 to 80% of LEOs miss in a shootout. And that's understandable because they don't train as much as they should because of time and money. So training is the most important in that factor. And, you get into a shootout, your adrenaline's going. You need to be able to go back to the basics, your training, the simplicity of shooting. And if you can't do that, you're going to miss. So I get that 70 to 80% miss in a shootout situation. On the range, majority of them probably great. You get that adrenaline going, the fear factor, and you're going to have a lot of misses. So again, with the 40 and 45 magazine capacity, you get, with a Glock 17 or a Glock 19, you're getting, 16, 17 rounds. Recoil, and I mentioned that with the 40 cal. You limp wrist the 40 cal, you're going to have a malfunction. You do not want to have a malfunction if you're in a shootout. That wouldn't be good. The weight of the rounds, 45, it's heavy stuff. You pick up a box of 50, 45, and a box of 59 mil, there's a difference. So, anyway, that doesn't bother me. I'll just suck it up, right? The cost of the ammunition, 45, 40 is more than 9 mil. 9 mil is everywhere, and it's cheaper. Anyway, another one of the main factors is the projectile. Since 2007, projectiles have come a long way, especially for law enforcement. And if you have a 9 mil versus a 45, you're going to get a lot more penetration, and which causes a lot more damage. So going back to the central nervous system, from here up, that's where you're going to get the best stopping power. Now, after that, you want to go for shot placement. You want hit organs, large organs, arteries. Then you're going to have your assailant bleed out quickly, which will incapacitate them. And it all goes back to training. I get so wound up when I see these guys and ladies buying these high-speed, low-drag weapons. They're spending thousands of dollars on a pistol, but yet they spend no money on training. I would much rather go into a firefight with a cheaper weapon and a lot of training because I'm gonna do better. I don't care how good the gun is. If you don't train, if you don't shoot, you're not gonna do well. You're gonna hurt innocent bystanders, or you're gonna get hurt yourself because you don't know what you're doing. You're gonna fold under pressure. Anyway, so that's one of my pet peeves. Train. And there's a couple guys out here in Oklahoma that I hear about. One Spencer Keepers and Tom Givens. They go all around the country doing seminars and whatnot, shoots. And hopefully soon I'll be able to get to go train with those guys. Train, train, train. Shoot, shoot, shoot. That's how you're going to get good. Let's see. What else do we have here? I don't want to just ramble on, but, there's going to be guys, that are going to swear by 45, they're going to swear by 40, and they're going to swear by 9 mil. I'm going to go by what I read here from the FBI because they have done their research. And to me, that's gold. I'm just going to scroll through it here and give you just the things that stuck out to me. And then, I'll put a link down below so you can go read the article yourself. And I'd like to see, a lot of comments from you and whatnot, questions. Maybe teach me something. Maybe I could teach you something. That'd be great. All right, 9mm Luger now offers select projectiles which are under identical testing conditions, outperforming most premium 40 and 45 cal. Tested by the FBI, of course. They have a higher magazine capacity, less recoil, lower cost, and less wear and tear on their weapons, which, when you've got tens of thousands of personnel, that could add up. Spend up money elsewhere. Spend it on training. Spend it on shooting. Not on fixing weapons and buying weapons. The majority of FBI shooters are both faster in shot strings fired and more accurate with the 9mm versus the 40. And I'll have to say 45 as well, just because, it's a slower round. There is little to no noticeable difference in the wound track between premium lines of law enforcement projectiles between 9mm, 40, and 45. So what that says is that my 9mm is going to do just as much damage as the 40 and 45. So why not have more rounds in my magazine, less recoil, which means better accuracy, and more rounds to fight back with? That makes a lot of sense to me. And coming from the FBI, if they say that a 9mm does just as much damage as a 45 and a 40, that's good. Let's see what else we have here. It's a really good article. Anyway, I'm just rambling on here. I really enjoyed this, excuse me, this article. I think it has a lot of good information. Take from it what you want. We all enjoy what we shoot. I think what's important about this one is what we shoot when we carry. We shoot whatever we want at the range. That's fine. But again, you got to train with what you're going to use too. So, take what you want from the article, and hopefully you learned something. I learned a lot, and I'm going to put the link below. And I look forward to hearing back from you. A lot of people out there have a lot of knowledge about shooting, and I enjoy hearing about it. I like learning about it, and if I can teach somebody something, even better. So, anyway, like, share, and subscribe. I got that right that time. And again, I look forward to hearing back your comments and questions. Frogman 405 out.